Okay, so lucky session number 13 of Curse of Strahd. So, when we last saw you guys, you had arrived in the village of Kresk with the body of your fallen comrade Rowan. First stop you guys made was at the cottage of the burgomistress Anna, who had basically taken over for her husband Dmitri because he was grievously wounded by their son Ilya. And the Ilya had been, you had encountered him on the road on the way into Kresk and kind of lured him into town using food. And he had been raised by the dead by the mysterious abbot, who you guys were there to see for performing a similar service for Rowan. But apparently something went awry with Ilya, and he went insane, opening his father's throat and then fleeing the town. So when you guys show up at the burgomaster's cottage, Anna orders the boy restrained, and she definitely warns you guys not to trust the abbot. Rowan, in the meantime, whose spirit anyway was still very, very busy. He was still in the body of the young gypsy Vistana Arabelle, and he was locked in her coach or wagon, I should say, with her. She was sleeping, but he really didn't sleep in this form, so he's just meditating. And he heard a horse ride up outside, so he looked out the window and recognized the rider as one Ernst Larnack, who is the servant of the Lady Wachter in Vallaki. And so he left Arabelle's body and kind of floated around inside the big tent in the center of the Vistani camp. He overheard Ernst tell Aragal that, quote, the master's plan is almost complete, unquote, and that the mistress was ready to make her move against the burgomaster that evening. He also heard Ernst say that the master attacked the Church of St. Andrel the night before with his vampire spawn, slaughtering Father Lucian and those taking refuge there. So far, he says that Izek has not been located and that you guys, the party, never reported back to Lady Wachter. So Ernst offers Aragal, on behalf of the Lady Wachter, a bag of gold for A, finding Izek and making sure he's dead, and B, finding and killing you guys as you are loose ends. So Aragal, again, is one of the two brothers who's kind of in charge of this Vistani camp. He initially accepted this offer, dismissing Ernst, but then Rowan possessed him and had this internal dialogue with him, telling him everything that had happened, explaining how he saved Arabelle, his niece, and describing to him the assailant who he wasn't able to identify, but Aragal says he may know who it is. He then gave control back to Aragal, who went out, found Ernst, who was getting ready to leave, said he changed his mind and rejected his offer, and threw the bag of gold back at him, and Ernst took off from the camp. So the rest of you guys, though, in Kresk, you made your way up to the Abbey. You brought Ilya along with you, but you left Ismark and Arena back in town. Once you got up to the Abbey, you had encountered a number of strange mongrel folk there who were apparently remnants of some family who had been transformed by the abbot, but apparently at their own request, to these half-human, half-animal creatures that were pretty much insane. They were all pretty much insane, but they weren't much of a threat. You made your way into the primary cathedral of the Abbey, and there you encountered the abbot, who had made this bride who he intended to marry Strahd. This bride was constructed from body parts and was named Vasilka. You guys just did not know what to make of the abbot. You definitely did not trust him, but you did find out that he definitely was a celestial of some sort. He agreed to raise Rowan, but in return, he asked you guys to go out and acquire a wedding dress for Vasilka. So, in return for that, he raised Rowan from the dead. Rowan's spirit was whisked away from the Vistani camp, pretty much mid-conversation with somebody else, and pulled back into his own body. So, Rowan was brought back, and the party was reunited. Shortly after that, you guys encountered a mysterious Vistana who made an appearance. Her name is Esmeralda, and apparently she's a wanderer and a protege to the legendary vampire hunter Rudolf van Richten. And apparently she came to Barovia looking for her former mentor, who she heard had traveled there with the intent of actually destroying Strahd. So she had been laying a trap for Strahd at the Abbey, but she decided that she would tag along with you guys. So as you're returning to the village from the Abbey, you guys, on the way down, right at the bottom, you spotted actually Ismark, who was barely holding back Arena from some mysterious pool from which this watery form of an arm was reaching out. You guys heard a voice call out from this pool, "Titania, it has been so long. Come, my love, let us be together at last." Irina is trying desperately to reach the pool. She's crying out, "My beloved Sergei, has this blessed fool called your spirit to me?" But you guys then ran over and held her back and made sure she didn't get in the pool. This watery visage of the arm disappeared, and then you heard these storm clouds roll in and Strahd's voice boom out from above. "She is mine!" And a lightning bolt struck the pool, blasting everyone off their feet and destroying both the pool and a nearby gazebo. And Arena collapsed, sobbing to the ground. And that's where we left off. So you guys are standing in the village of Kresk, right outside this pool, and Arena is sobbing at your feet. And you guys would actually be right over here somewhere.
No, I'm not with them. I could hear that and see that, though?
Yeah, well, you definitely heard the lightning bolt and everything, and
Yeah.
and this immediate reaction to it. Now, I knew that some of you guys ran over immediately, and some of you guys did not. Yeah, I think Kyle or
I went off
Jugs?
with the boy because I wanted to bring him home.
Right, but yeah, so you didn't get really much more than like 10, 15 feet before you heard this
Okay.
big commotion
That's
and
what
explosion. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, you saw lightning actually strike the ground pretty close to where you saw your friends running, so you would estimate that they're possibly in trouble.
Yeah. Am I the only one that wandered off? Like, did that girl went with them? Whatever her name is, I forget now.
Esmeralda? Yeah, she actually was one of the first
that
ones to
one.
bolt off with Rowan.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, with Rowan and Adrin.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I came running down later.
Mm-hmm. So, were you planning on rejoining them, Jugs?
Probably not. I kind of want to bring the boy home. If there's something going on, I don't want him to be caught in the crossfire. So I want to bring him home.
Yeah, so if you were heading down this trail, like right about here and here would be...
Do I remember about how long of a walk it was?
It's one square on this map is about 50 feet, so...
Yeah, so it won't take me long. I can kind of run off with him and drop him off and then run back to the party within, I don't know, like a minute. 2 minutes, I mean.
Well, yeah, it would probably take about 5 to maybe 10 minutes, depending on...
I have long legs.
Which house was his?
I believe I had just decided that this one was the Burgomaster's
That one,
cottage.
okay.
Okay, yeah. And
I mean, I'm going off with him to bring him back.
Okay.
Either way.
So the rest of you guys then are pretty much getting up off the ground, dusting yourselves off, and Arena's sobbing, and Ismark is trying to make sure she's okay, and Esmeralda is just kind of like, what just happened?
No idea.
That was Strahd's voice, wasn't it? Not in the...
We've heard him talk, right?
We have.
Yeah,
Yes, you
sounded like it.
Yeah, and you guys actually kind of even saw his face somewhat kind of shaped out of these clouds that had rolled in and appeared. So it was definitely... It was not his voice in the pool. You had not heard that voice before, didn't recognize it.
I think there's much more to Irina than
Meets
we're
you.
led to believe.
I'm going to ask Irina who was in the pool. Why were you going to the pool?
She is really distraught and doesn't immediately respond. If you want, you can try and make a persuasion check to see if you can kind of get through to her. But right now, she's just sobbing uncontrollably.
I'll try it.
Don't.
No.
Okay, yes, she doesn't even look up. She just keeps sobbing and.
Then I'll go over to the pool.
Okay.
I'm going to try to calm her down enough to talk.
Okay, you can make a persuasion check too.
Does anybody have a spell that could calm
Hey,
her?
hey,
Nice. Well,
21.
the soothing
There
words
you
of the
go.
paladin will do the trick.
That's right.
So she kind of gets herself a bit under control enough to. She doesn't look up still. She's still crying, but she says, "That was Sergei.
Was who?
Sergei."
That was Sergey.
And Ismark looks kind of troubled and looks up at you and says, "I think she means Strahd's brother."
Strahd's got a brother?
He did
Okay.
a long time ago. In fact, that was part of the legend of how he became a vampire, from what I understand. But we should leave this place. I don't think it's safe here.
Well, we got to get the kid back to his house.
Did you?
Well, we have no idea where the kid is.
Yeah. So
Is he just-
Jugs just kept walking. So
all right. Well, presumably we have to catch up with Jugs, who hopefully is taking the kid back to his house.
yep. Adrian, you approached the pool. It looked like it was some sort of fountain. It had been kind of decorated out. You hadn't really looked at it, investigated it before. And now when the lightning struck it, it just blew any kind of, there was like some kind of a statue there that just got blown apart. And most of the water either flashed right or flew out of the water. There's still some water in there, but it's just looks like normal water and less deep than it was. It's
Okay.
it is a bit interesting that there was water, unfrozen water here, because it is quite cold, but it's probably like low 30s. But not, yeah. So it's just right on the edge. So there may have been some scrim of ice or something like that, but you don't see any chunks left. Any lightning would have blown that all apart. The gazebo off to the left of the pool. From what you just took a glance at it when you came running up, and it looked pretty wobbly then, and now it's just been completely tipped over and blown apart. But you don't see anything, any remnants. There's no remains of anything in the pool. Nothing that would seem to indicate what was in the water previously.
Okay. Let's go catch up with the kid.
Okay. Well, you just kind of make a long story short. Jugs, you probably cut across the tree forested area right there to get to the cottage, and
Yeah.
so you guys just kind of play tag for a while. You get him back to the cottage. What do you do when you get there? I mean,
Since I don't know what they're doing, I would probably just tell them to run inside, open the door, let them run inside, and I mean, his family's still there. Like, it looks like people are home, right?
well, actually, what I was going to say was, as you draw near, you actually hear an extremely loud shriek of agony coming from inside. It sounds like a woman's voice, or a woman's scream, I should say.
Well, I probably wouldn't just send him in on his own. I'd probably go in with him. I imagine.
Yeah, that probably would change things in terms of your plan.
Yeah, definitely.
So okay, so you the door doesn't appear to be locked, so you open the door and you see inside. There's the first thing that you notice is that there's a woman splayed out on the dining room table, on her back, and standing in front of her are Anna, the burgomistress, and another familiar-looking woman that you seem to have seen before. You go ahead and make an insight check if you want.
Where's the
God.
echo from?
I think that's from Paul.
Do you have
Every time I hear
headphones,
the-
Paul? At all?
Every time I hear the echo, I see the bars on his
Yeah.
face, so I think it's coming from Paul's.
You can mute, I guess.
Well, then you can't hear anybody.
Well, no, he can hear us. It's just he's muting his mic. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
with your insight check, you recognize the woman standing next to Anna as Kretiana, who was the she was identified as the midwife, and
Yeah.
it definitely looks like there is actually a birth taking place right on her dining room, on Anna's dining room table, and you do recall that was one of the things that she was saying she needed to take care of today.
Right.
Do I recognize the woman on the table? As
No,
anyone?
no, you haven't seen or met her before. And,
Does anyone notice me walk in?
Yeah, well, as you open the door, both Anna and Kritiana look up at you, and they don't immediately spot Ilya behind you, so they return their attention back to the woman, and they're saying, "Push! Push!" And the woman's just like, "Yeah!"
Okay, do I remember the burgomaster is dead, correct? I'm trying to remember.
No, actually, Dmitri
Or what
is not.
He
Yeah.
got like bit on the throat or something, right?
Yes, well, that's what Ilya did after he was raised by the
Yeah.
abbot. He initially didn't. He just seemed kind of quiet, but then during dinner he just snapped and
Yeah.
ripped out the burgomaster's throat. The burgomaster Dmitri is not dead. He actually is laying in the bed. This is again one big room.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, yeah.
Obviously not. He's not sleeping. He's when you look over at him, he's watching the proceedings, but you can see he's got a great big heavy bandage around his throat, and he looks very pale and diminished.
Well, I'm
but
gonna
he's
tell the boy to go in there, and I'm gonna walk up to the burgomaster's wife and say, "Hey, we brought your son here. Brought your son back." I'm trying to remember what was wrong with him.
He was insane.
He was
Yeah, but-
insane, and he attacked his father. So they
But
were
then
all
what
He
is-
tried to
terrified.
kill his father.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he should-
He's healed now.
But he's healed, yeah. So I would say, we brought your son back, and see what does she say or do or.
she looks up at Ilya and looks at you and says, I mean, she's really distracted because she's like, there's this birth being performed at the same time.
Imagine.
But she's like, has he been cured?
Yeah, he should be good now. Supposedly, he is cured. I don't know. We haven't tested it. He hasn't attacked anyone yet. I mean, I can't say for sure, but we've been told.
Okay, will you be able to watch him until this is finished? We're very close to having a baby in our hands here. And with that, yeah, the woman bears down again, and you see this kind of runnel of blood come running out. And then you see the midwife say, "It's coming! I see the head!"
I guess I would like to walk over with the boy near his father and see if he seems to be cured. Does he, does the father can't talk, obviously, but does he come over and does he say anything to his father or anything?
Well, yeah, Ilya is...
If we go over there?
Ilya seems very shy, obviously, but he's also... I mean, I guess, what did you guys tell him? He doesn't seem to have remembered much of anything that occurred since dying.
we told him we found him in the woods, and that we did tell him he attacked his father, and he didn't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's I guess he looks like he's just absolutely ashamed of what has happened, but at the same time, he wants forgiveness from his father. So he does come over with you with his head down, and his father Dmitri, looks up at him approaching. You don't see alarm in his eyes, just kind of a weary sadness. And he actually kind of lifts his head up to speak a little bit and says, Ilya, are you better now? And Ilya just nods his head and doesn't say anything. And he looks up at you and says, what did you do to fix him?
Well, I didn't do anything, but the abbot supposedly helped us cure him. I believe it was the abbot that cured him, correct?
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys recall, the abbot actually, with Edrin's help, found this or opened this kind of secret cache above the fireplace, and he had a vial in there with some liquid that he gave to Ilya, and that supposedly cured him of his insanity. So you say that to him, and he says, "The abbot is the one who drove him insane."
Well, I will hang out here with you for a little bit until your wife can watch after him. But I really should get out of here. My friends, I don't know what's going on with them, but they may be in trouble. So, we could hurry this birth up along. I say that a little louder.
We're on a timetable here, people. Okay,
So
well,
I want everyone to hear that one part.
Business to attend to.
yes. Well, it actually doesn't take the rest of you guys very long to catch up. I mean, if you go back and around, you'll eventually kind of work your way back towards the burgomaster's cottage. So you arrive before the birth is complete. In fact, just as it's getting completed. So you walk in the door to pretty much the same scene. Women splayed out on the table, the two women helping with the birth, and you see Jugs and Ilya standing over by Dmitri by the bed. So, and as you guys enter, the woman gives one last, and the midwife takes the baby out and holds it up and says, "He lives! It's a boy!"
Mazel tov!
Mazel tov! Drops the baby on the floor and squashes his head. Wait, no, that's enough. No, she cuts the umbilical cord and hands it to the mother.
While the father's in the bed in the same room, you said?
Yes. Yeah, it's all one big room, the cottage is.
All right, I'm gonna go over and lay hands on him for 5 points. See if that does anything for him.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if a cure wounds would help too.
Yeah, that's one of those things that D&D mechanics don't really necessarily cover in terms of like debilitating wounds and so forth, but I'm assuming that any such wound would be similar to something you'd receive in battle, so I would say that probably would repair his vocal cords and, cover the incision in his throat, or not the incision, the gaping wound in his throat. But he would probably have a scar for the rest of his life. But in any case, yes, we'll say that you lay your hands on him and that heals him enough so that he kind of looks up at you with wonderment and says, "What did you do?" And his voice is, you weren't there when he was speaking before, but Jugs, you can tell his voice is what apparently would be normal now.
I say that's what I do, going around helping those who can't help themselves. That's my thing.
It's kind of my shtick.
That's my shtick. That and brewing ale.
Yes, that and getting some beer in this place.
He already covered that. He said helping those in need.
Yes.
Yeah. Helping those in need.
Well, now that the baby's been delivered, Anna comes over and sees what you just did and sees Dmitri actually sitting up out of his own in the bed and speaking in his normal voice. And she runs over and embraces him and turns to you, Clytus, and says, "Thank you so much for what you have done." And they look over at
I bring you the blessings of Marthaner Duin, the dwarven god of those who travel.
And we will remember that always. Oh no, they're seriously very happy, and they look over to Ilya, and Ilya is now like kind of tears running down his face, but he's smiling, and so they all kind of embrace together, and so you've reunited the family and cured all of them of their ills. While that's going on, why don't you guys make a perception check?
Okay, I did kind of want to ask who the woman was as well that was giving birth, now that she has a moment.
Oh, sure, yeah, make me look up a name.
I mean, I don't need a name if you want to just tell me relation.
She's not related to them. She's actually a resident of the town. Let's see. Okay, Jugs, yeah, you're kind of checking the woman out on the table.
Yeah.
I think he was before.
Oh, that did not come out right.
I did not see that before. Whoa! Oh, let's say the woman's name is Dorina.
Okay.
I don't have a
But
stat
it's just a town member. It's
Yes.
not like a daughter or anything. That's kind of what I was getting at, I guess. But I wanted to know if she was related or something.
No, well, she doesn't obviously look related to them. I mean, the midwife is the midwife. She performs all the birth, and she actually was what I had you guys roll perception rolls for. You guys, everyone except for Jugs, you can see that she actually looks troubled. She looks. She doesn't look happy.
Maybe
What
she
troubles
wanted a
you?
daughter.
What was that?
troubles you,
Oh,
madam?
They said maybe she wanted a daughter.
well, the midwife doesn't care about
No, it was
that.
the midwife, not the.
Yeah, the mother is holding her
birth
baby
mom,
boy,
mother.
and she looks, radiant and like every mother normally. But the midwife, yes,
I approach her and ask her flat out, "What troubles you, madam?"
she looks down at the baby and at the mother and kind of motions you off to the side, like towards the doorway.
Sure.
She takes you aside. I don't. Anyone else wants to go with can, and she says, in a low voice, "That child has no soul. It's very sad."
Like he can't keep a beat when he's singing the blues, or he.
Just no soul.
God.
And you did notice.
So how does she know? How do you know he has? No
Well, you guys did notice that when the child was born, the baby did not cry.
Oh.
Which is, you guys haven't been attendant to a lot of births, but that's something that you would have normally expected.
We were all at least one.
Yeah, the memory's probably a little foggy. But yeah,
I kind of say, well, I've been on the other side, and those with souls, they don't go where they're supposed to. It's like this place is cursed.
this place is cursed. It's very sad. I've seen it before, but there's nothing that can be done. But I'm
Are
sure.
there any?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are there any that are born with souls?
Yes, some are not, and it doesn't seem to be have anything to do with mother, father, brother, sister relationships. I've seen families where some have souls, some do not. I cannot explain it, but it is what it is. It is part of living here in Barovia. But the ones without souls seem to lack spirit, seem to lack empathy, seem to lack feeling or emotion. But I'm sure he will survive, and thrive in his own way, but he will never know the sound of pure laughter from his own heart. And she shakes her head and walks off and starts cleaning up her implements and kind of getting businesslike with cleaning up her mess. Or if not her mess, the mother's mess.
I want to ask the burgomaster's wife, do you guys do a lot of births here? Why was this done here?
This one was one we had been expecting, but as you can see, she had lost a lot of blood, so I have a little bit of medical knowledge, not much, but enough to be on hand in case additional assistance was needed.
Okay. That makes sense.
And yes, it would not normally take place here. It would take place at the mother's cabin, but things happened rather quickly, as you can see. But it appears the mother is fine now. She will obviously need some rest, but we will make sure that she is taken back to her own place and can find some rest there with her new son.
Where's the father?
The father is deceased, unfortunately.
Oh.
He was eaten
Recently?
Oh, it must have been 3 months ago now. He was killed by wolves.
That's sad.
Yes.
Sorry for the loss.
Well, now they have a new family that she can latch on to her new baby boy, and hopefully she will fill some of the void in her heart. So, yes, you have returned Ilya. You've talked to the midwife. Rowan, I was actually just remembering, you're pretty low on health right now.
Yeah, I'm at 9. 9 hit points. So.
I'm going to move us here.
Yeah. So you...
didn't use... I have some kind of thing that I don't get them all back right away, correct?
Give me a second to
relook
up.
It's like per day I gain more.
No, it's not your hit points. You have a -4 penalty to all your attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. Right. Each long rest, the penalty is reduced by 1 until it disappears. So your hit points aren't. You were raised back to life with 1 hit point.
Right.
You must have taken a cure or something to get you up to 9, or something.
Yeah, I think I forget what we did, but yeah, I'm at 9.
So yeah, so you're at -4 until you take a long rest, and then you'll be at -3, then -2, and so on. So if you guys want to spend the night, Anna would be more than happy to allow you to stay. They don't have any other beds, but you can kind of stay in the loft area above the...
Is it nighttime?
It was... Actually, I think it was starting to... You went in at night, and you didn't stay that long. So I would say it probably is still nighttime.
Okay. You guys want to get some rest here, and then we can head on the road in the morning?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay, so yeah, Anna prepares she has a lot of blankets and everything stashed away, so she can lay those out for you. And now that Dmitri is better, he can help out too, and she's very relieved that she doesn't have to spend all her time, and he kind of will reassume the role of burgomaster. So Esmeralda says that she, if the party will have her, she will also remain with them, with you guys. And she says that she reiterates, she said this before, but she said that she knows where a bridal gown might be located.
Right.
She says that the Baroness Petrovna, who is the wife of the burgomaster of Valaki, apparently she kept her wedding bridal gown at her mansion. She says that the silly woman parades it around every now and again for her guests that she invites in for tea.
Yeah, how are we going to get that thing?
I think steal it is what was recommended.
Well,
that doesn't sound like a
Rowan,
safe option.
If you want to make an insight check.
Sure.
Okay.
Ooh.
You remember when you were at the Vistani camp and Ernst Larnack told Aragol that the Lady Wachter was going to be moving to overthrow the Baron, the Burgomaster, the next day.
Right. Ah, okay. So maybe she'll be busy. Is that the lady that we're trying to get this dress from?
Yes, the Baroness
Lady
Petrovna.
Wachter?
Yeah.
No, not Lady Wachter. The Baroness Petrovna is the wife of the Burgomaster. She's the one with the bridal gown.
Okay. Right. Okay. So yeah, there could be a distraction there for us.
So otherwise, yeah, she she thinks that's probably your best bet because nobody could make one quick enough to satisfy the. I mean, you said you'd get the dressed as soon as possible, and the abbot had said that actually he was intending to present Vasilka as the bride to Strahd within several days. That's why Esmeralda was hanging out there. She was going to lay a trap for Strahd. So you've got probably maybe 2-3 days max before Strahd's supposed to arrive.
Hang on, guys. I have a call I have to take. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. No problem. She also, Esmeralda, makes other small talk with you. She actually asks you guys what your plan is to take down Strahd yourselves.
We haven't even thought about that at this point.
What is your plan? I assuming you're not here by choice.
No,
We are not.
we all kind of showed up at the same time from different places, and I don't know. I guess that's just kind of how we got together. We haven't really talked about any plans. We've just been kind of winging it.
I guess, to be honest, I don't know that we had any plans to take down Strahd. I think our plan is to try to figure out how to get out of here.
The only way you will ever leave this place alive is to destroy Strahd.
Yeah, I've been kind of realizing that, especially after I crossed over. That
Call you John Edwards from now on.
Yeah, this place is cursed, and the land is cursed, the people are cursed, the souls are cursed. The only one that doesn't seem to be cursed is him, and he might even be cursed. So.
Yes, I've wondered that myself. But yes, definitely to ever escape this domain, you will need to defeat Strahd. But
Now, I've heard the Vistani are able to leave and enter as they please.
yes,
Are we not?
You are not. I was born Vistani, and that is how I was able to leave this place. Long ago, my family left this land. We traveled far and wide. We've actually visited many different lands, traveling from here and there. And that is where I met my mentor, Dr. Rudolf van Richten.
Sorry, I'm back.
Okay.
So, how were you able to leave? Can we not leave the same way?
No. The Vistani have always had the ability to leave Barovia. This is in repayment for an ancient debt that he owed the Vistani. Back when he was a mortal and he fought in many wars, he was wounded on a field of battle by his enemies and left for dead. The Vistani found him and tended him back to health. For that debt, he has always granted the Vistani free reign to enter and leave his domain.
Well, that was a pretty dumb decision.
Dumb? Why would you say that?
You could have let him die. You
Oh.
wouldn't have this problem.
Again, the Vistani have not really had too much trouble from this. Again, they can come and go as they wish, and this is the way of life that they prefer.
How do they leave? Do you just snap your fingers and you teleport out of here? I mean,
We
is there
exit
a
the
portal
mists.
somewhere?
We exit the mists and emerge where we will.
Okay, so you can just decide wherever you want to go. That's pretty cool. So all we need to do is find a way to almost kill him and then nurse him back to health, is what you're saying?
I do not think that he will be so magnanimous.
Okay.
So maybe our next thing should be to help you find your mentor.
That was going to be my next step, yes.
Well, yeah, we should figure out the dress first.
Oh, right, but
Yeah, and then
Well,
go from there.
yes, I think probably what would work out best is if I will continue my search for Van Richten while you are taking care of the dress, but I think we should link up again. When I tracked Van Richten here, I wasn't able to find him, but I did find evidence of him at an old wizard's tower on Lake Baratok. That was where he had been, but he wasn't there when I was there last. So that, for a while, was a place where I was holding up, because it's an old abandoned tower. No one really knows about it, so it seemed a relatively safe location. Once you have taken care of the dress and any other business you might have, we can link up there.
so what does this guy look like, just in case we see him on our travels?
Van Richten, he would be in his late 50s, older man, human. I do not know how he would be dressed. I'm sure he is probably in disguise, actually, but I have not been able to find him.
All right.
But Strahd is also looking for him. He very rightly fears Van Richten, because Van Richten has probably one of the best armaments of all, knowledge on how to defeat him.
Yeah, we definitely need him on our side.
Speaking of armaments, what do you have in the way of those in terms of combating vampires and other creatures?
Nothing.
Well, that's not good. You have weapons. Are any of them magical? Do any of them have any sort of additional abilities?
Nope.
Or?
I have the ability to make weapons magical.
Aren't Paul's fists magical? Is where Adrin's fists magical as well?
That's only when we're in private.
In a circle. A sacred circle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I won't tell her about his magical fists.
Yeah, I can't. Paul, are your fists? Do they actually count as magic weapons? You're still muted.
Turn the mic back on.
Yeah, you're muted.
We still can't hear you. You're still muted, Paul. It's charades. Oh, poor Paul. He tried to be conciliatory and mute himself, and now he can't speak again. Yeah. Someone cast silence in his basement.
Oh, that's funny.
Mike
broke. Okay.
Oh no.
That's going to make combat interesting.
Well, he'll have to type.
Yeah, I guess you could type and roll 20.
Yeah, you can type in chat.
Type in the chat.
Oh, that's too bad.
Darn. Anyway, I mean, I don't use weapons really, so I don't have any magic weapons, but
well, I know also
we do have some magic.
Paul also had a silver short sword too.
Yeah, right.
But
he did, okay.
I don't know if you guys have any other magical weapons.
No.
I don't think you do.
I have the spell magic weapon, which
that will come in handy in terms of overcoming a vampire's resistance. Oh, we just heard a little bit of something from Paul.
Yeah.
And my weapon counts as magical when I'm using it. If I use
Really?
Well, I have that channel divinity that'll make my weapon count as magic.
Mhm.
Oh, that's helpful too. So you're good to go.
She says that that's definitely one thing you need to overcome a vampire's resistance. They're definitely resistant to non-magical attacks. So without that, then they pretty much just take half normal damage. They also have regeneration, which you've run into before, but that can be overcome by taking radiant damage.
Hello?
Oh, we can hear you now.
You're back.
Yep.
Is that echo back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. You don't have any headphones?
I plug it in and the Windows says it isn't recognized.
Oh, nice.
And then I try my other one. So my snowball mouse mic isn't working, apparently. I'm tempted to reboot, but
We could deal with it.
is it horrible?
How easy is it? How easy is it for you to mute and toggle the mute with that mic?
Oh, I can toggle.
Well, now
Okay.
that you're back, though, can you tell us the answer to the question? Are your weapons are your fists registered as magical?
My fists are now magical.
Fists are registered as a deadly weapon.
So I will probably not even be using my short sword anymore because I can do more damage with my fists than my short sword.
Alright.
And they're magical.
Nice.
Cool.
And I'm pretty much a spellcaster too, so.
Well, it definitely sounds like the biggest thing you guys need in terms of assistance would be you looks like you've got magical weapons. Wooden stakes is that's wooden stake will immobilize a vampire. Well, it depends. Vampires spawn if you do a stake to the heart. They're destroyed if a wooden stake is driven into its heart while it's incapacitated in its resting place. Other things she knows, their natural regeneration can be negated by taking radiant damage. So
That's me.
yeah. So if you've got radiant damage or damage from holy water, that prevents their regeneration from taking place. They can't enter a residence without an invitation from one of the occupants. They take damage from running water. Sunlight is very bad for them. They take radiant damage from that, and also they have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. But she says that probably you guys still probably need some more equipment, or I should say some more magical weapons or something to aid you in fighting vampires, or more specifically Strahd. And what she recommends is, well, she's got what's called a Taroka deck back at the Wizard's Tower, and that's basically what's used by the Vistani in reading fortunes. And that actually might provide some clues as to how you might be able to defeat Strahd, or at least find things that can help you defeat Strahd. She has one of these and she can do it, but she says if you have the chance, you might also seek out Madame Eva, who's at the Serpol encampment, and she's been around for, she doesn't know how long, but she's much, much more powerful, and her divinatory powers far exceed her own.
Meh.
So if you were going that way, that might be something to seek out as well. And you guys, if you recall, you also had other business at the pool too, or at the Serpol encampment. You were the gypsies that you had contacted way back when in Barovia about getting supplies for brewing. They had left word with the other gypsy encampment that they had gotten some information for you about that.
Okay. Well, didn't we say we were going to head back through town, try to get the dress, and then head over to the other camp?
That was one of the things you had said, yes. So if you're heading that way anyway, definitely Esmeralda recommends that you at least see Madame Eva and see what she can say in terms of possibly reading your fortune and whatnot. She's very wise, very powerful.
I have a few tarot decks over here if you need one, Paul.
So, you guys bed down for the night. There's plenty of room, plenty of blankets. It's cold. Kresk, again, is much higher altitude, so it's, again, getting below freezing here at night. But she does Anna does have a fire roaring in the fireplace, so it's cozy in the cabin, if a little bit drafty. Again, these are pine cabins, so they're not like super well insulated, but they at least can keep the worst of the chill at bay. The night, I'm not going to ask for your rest order because the night passes uneventfully. The one thing that you do notice is that Arena does not say a word during the whole evening. And multiple efforts by Ismark to try to get her, to cheer her up, just seem to have no effect whatsoever. And he looks very worried about her.
Yeah, there's definitely more than meets the eye going on with her.
And Esmeralda kind of looks at her for a while, and she says, I've seen her before.
In your dreams, maybe?
No. When I was in Castle Ravenloft, I saw a painting of her.
Oh.
So why were you in Castle Ravenloft again?
I was looking for my mentor and looking for ways to find and defeat Strahd. The only way to do that is to learn his lair.
Yeah, but how did you get out without getting caught or killed?
It was a very near thing, and I almost died. That is why I would not recommend going there without significant backup. And it is not someplace I would...
But the abbot made it sound like you were going to be there for the when Strahd came to see his bride.
Strahd was due to visit the abbey.
And you were going to take him on yourself?
I was going to lay a trap for him, but I was...
Impressive trap.
Yeah.
That is why I abandoned that plan when I saw you. I think you have a much better chance of defeating Strahd, or at least us together, than I by myself. However, he is not as powerful outside his lair as he is within it. The downside, though, is that if you defeat him outside, he will assume gaseous form and return to his lair. The only way to finally destroy him is with a wooden stake through the heart in his coffin.
Huh.
But yes, the painting I saw was of Strahd's original love, Titania. And from what I understand, she was betrothed to his brother, Sergei.
That was the name we heard at the pond.
Yes. I think she may be the reincarnation of Strahd's original love.
Well, that Izek guy from Barovia was basically the Burgomaster's henchman. He had dolls made of her, and he told us the reason he did that was because he dreamt of her.
Interesting. You don't know why, though.
No, he didn't. He didn't even know.
Very
At
curious.
least he didn't say so.
Yes, she seems to be tied up in the fate of many.
Yes.
Well, perhaps we will learn more as the time commences. For now, I am going to bed, though. Good night. So, the night...
I'll let my dog out.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of the night passes uneventfully, so you guys can get the benefits of a long rest. Rowan, you would get one more minus off of your minuses. So you're at -3.
Yeah.
Oh, anyone else getting a server to the Roll20
Yeah.
disconnected?
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Tag? Come on.
yep. That's sucks.
Yeah, it keeps coming and going.
To be on the safe side, you may want to stop doing anything important. Well, yeah, what's that? Like,
Like your game.
yeah.
Like playing.
Okay. Well, yeah, just... So if you guys want to take care of anything else in town before you leave, now would be a good time.
Do we have anything else?
Yeah, can we ask if is there a shop? Is there anything in this town? Is there a church anywhere of interest besides the abbey?
Not really, no. Actually, the
Yeah.
village is pretty self-sufficient and insular. They actually grow their own food. They chop their own firewood. They don't. The only thing they really rely on the outside world much for is wine, which was evidenced when the Mardikovs delivered their shipment. Oh, they left, by the way, the day before.
I was just gonna ask that. Yeah.
After dropping off their shipment, they returned back to the winery.
Okay.
But yeah, they don't have a store. They don't have a church, really. But if you need some basic supplies of some sort, they could ask around and scrounge some up for you. Especially after returning their burgomaster to full health. They would do that at no charge to you guys for anything mundane.
Well, we need some magic weapons. We need some.
Sure, I'll just give you this +2 halberd I had laying around.
All right,
sweet.
I'm writing
Thanks.
it down.
Found it under my bed. Do not write that down.
How about some wooden stakes?
Well, they have plenty of trees, so they could likely fashion one pretty quickly for you. In fact, you guys could probably fashion it yourselves if you just wanted to break a branch off of a tree. I mean, just whittle it down.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any skills in the steak making.
Well, it doesn't
Category.
require too much skill.
Do they have any like glass vials that I could put some holy water in and give to each one of these people?
Sure. You could do that.
All right.
Sweet.
So, here we
And
lost
then
Paul.
I suppose like during the next long rest, I'll do a ritual to create holy water or something. I don't know if there is like I'm sure there's a ritual I have to do to create it.
That I'm not sure.
I mean, there's no spell to do that, but I'm a cleric. I should be able to create holy water.
Yeah, for now I'm assuming. Let's just say it's. We can look it up after the session, or if you want to look it up
No.
while we're talking, we'll assume it's a bless spell. Would do it.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Paul?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
And no echo.
Well, after it crashed, I went ahead and disabled the mic on the, and then re-enabled this one, and that seemed to work. So,
Cool. Sounds a lot better.
yep, awesome.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want to take care of before leaving town?
No.
So, I might have missed it, but did we ever ask why the abbot made the kid crazy?
Who are you asking this?
I think
asked
that
the party. Did anybody ask?
Oh.
Yes,
Why
we
this
asked
way?
him, but he kind of gave an evasive, goofy answer. I
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
remember what it was.
He's kind of a strange guy. I don't trust him.
Definitely something seemed a bit off about him. Yes. He said when you asked about why he went insane, he didn't know, and
Yeah.
said he was fine when he left.
Well, I'm not feeling 100% yet either.
So you should be fine hit point wise now, though. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's head off on our way then.
Let's
Back
do it.
to the town that hates us. That'll go well.
Yes.
Were you going to go on foot, or were you going to take look for some kind of mounts or something?
Do we have any money for mounts? I only
Yeah, I
got
was
like
gonna say,
10 gold.
unless they want to offer us that as part of those standard supplies.
That
we
well,
haven't-
they actually, that's one thing that they do have are some mounts, and they, since you did raise the burgomaster, if you did want horses, they would provide them for you. Just to, again, for out of extreme gratitude for everything you've done for the town, for raising the, or not raising, but curing the burgomaster's son and healing the burgomaster. And
Well, thanks, Clytus, for healing the burgomaster and getting us horses.
Sure.
and you brought wine too.
That's fair.
Yeah, we brought wine to town, and we're gonna bring beer.
Yeah, screw the burgomaster. You guys could brought wine. Hell, we'll give you
Let's take them
Clydesdales.
up on the offer. Let's get some horses.
Yeah, if you guys want some horses.
Yeah, so we'll take horses for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so you can definitely get one horse apiece. That's actually a lot of horses because it's you four, Ismark, Arena, and Esmeralda, so 7 altogether.
Oh, didn't Esmeralda say she was gonna go off on her own and meet up with us?
She will accompany you as far as Lake Baratok, and then she'll
Okay.
go off and continue
She's gonna help
looking
us
for.
get the dress, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, that's if you really want her to come along, she will.
I thought that's what she said, and then she was
Yeah,
gonna.
that's what she does.
Well, she said she was. She said while you were looking for the dress, she was going to continue looking for Van Richten, and then you would meet up.
I do remember that.
Well, and keep in mind, I'm small, so if one of the ladies wants to ride along with me, I'm more than happy.
Yeah, sure. Esmeralda will take you up on that. She actually doesn't need a horse. In fact, while she's looking for Van Richten, it would probably be easier if she didn't have one, because she'd probably be going cross country. So yeah, she'll ride. She says, "Do you want the front or the back?"
Are you a good rider?
Oh, no worse than many. It's not my strong suit, but I swing both
You're
ways.
not gonna be able to see over her.
It depends. Do you want to hang on to me, or should I hang on to you?
Oh, I think I could handle your hands on me if you absolutely needed to.
All right.
Yeah, she's very flirtatious, but you can tell that she's just, obviously just kidding, but she can dish it out as well.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, so you can share.
I'll be in front just because I don't want to.
Okay, it does make more sense that
I
she
wanna
can see over
things
you.
Coming.
She
Yeah,
actually,
if you were behind her, you wouldn't be able to see.
yeah, she's what she has as far as armaments, what has she got? She's got magical rapier, magical hand axe, silver short sword, and I thought she had a ranged weapon, but I guess she doesn't. Oh, okay, yeah, she doesn't have. Well, she does have a few spells. So anyway,
Can I ask for a couple of wooden stakes before we go?
yeah. Well,
No,
you
we're
guys.
gonna make them ourselves.
Well, I think Paul was cut off at that point. Yeah, there's plenty of trees around, so I mean, you guys can just snap branches off. And I mean, it doesn't take any great skill to make a wooden stake. I mean, as long as it's a sharpened chunk of wood. So I mean, you can actually get if one of you guys wants like a carving knife or something, they can find one for you to do that if you don't want to risk dulling your blade, which really isn't a 5e mechanic anyway.
I will make 3 wooden stakes.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Start whittling them away. Yeah, you can do that even while riding horseback. So you figured you'd be able to get at least some crude stakes put together by the time you got to Vallaki.
Those vampire spawn have got this stake written all over it.
Got a stake with your name on it. Okay, so you guys get on your horses, 6 horses, and start riding out of town. You make your way towards the main gate and get to probably right about here when... why don't you guys make a perception check?
So eight for me technically.
I am
Right?
a boss.
Yeah, at -3.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone except for Clytus is oblivious to this, but Clytus, as you're riding, I guess I could roll for Ismeralda and Ismark too. But as you're riding past, yeah, they're both oblivious as well. When you're riding through this area here, you see this house. You hear what sounds like a crash and voices raised in consternation, and you actually catch a glimpse of flames rising within the house.
What?
And you can smell the smell of smoke stronger than what you'd normally smell from the chimneys nearby.
Okay, let's go check it out.
You pointed
will
out,
check it out.
yeah. So once Clytus points
Where
it
are you
out to
going,
everyone,
Clytus?
yeah, you all notice that this house does appear to be on fire. And these are these are wooden cottages made of basically pine and thatched roof. So this thing will go up like a tinderbox very quickly.
I haul ass, speed 50 into the house.
I yell fire!
Fire! Okay, yeah, that catches the townspeople. A lot of the townspeople actually had been. A lot of the townspeople had been actually standing outside to watch you go and kind of waving you
I'm
off.
gonna get as close to the building and cast create water.
Ah,
It says like it water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube within range, extinguishing exposed flames in the area.
okay. Well, one thing to note is that the flame does not yet appear to have escaped the building. It looks like it's inside the building.
Like I said, I went inside.
Okay, so yeah, Adrian, you push through, open up the door, and this wave of heat and smoke comes billowing out. You can see that this fire is extended through most of the inside, and the roof is actually starting to catch. Inside, you see a woman who looks to be unconscious on the ground, very near the flames, and a crib with a small child, like actually an infant in it, that's just screaming and screaming. And
So, are they on the other side of the fire?
yes, you would have to move through the flames to get to them.
Okay, so I'm assuming there are shadows and things in the building, right? I can use my teleport ability to teleport from the doorway to somewhere near them that's not in the flame?
Yes, there's
Or-
plenty of shadows created by the dancing flame, so you could very easily do that if all that's required is a shadow present.
Yep, that's what's required, yep.
That create water has a range of 30 feet too, so I mean I can do it inside or anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, you would just need line of sight to the area then. So, okay, so Adrian, you teleport to that area. What is this ability again? Is it part of the monk?
It's part of my Way of Shadows.
Way
It's
of
called
Shadows.
Shadow Step. When in dim light darkness, I can teleport to an unoccupied space, 60 feet, as long as it's in dim light or darkness as well.
Okay. So
I also have advantage on the first melee attack, so if I want to punch the baby or something, I
I punched the shadow. Let me just see here if this has anything special about it. Shadow Step. Okay. Teleport. It does say teleport, so it basically would function the same as that spell, I would assume. Well, it says you can. I don't think you could take anyone with you.
I cannot. I just wanted to get there without having to go through the flames.
Okay. All right. So you, boom, appear on the other side of the flames. It's very close. You pretty much would have to hold your breath at this point because there's so much smoke, but you do not take any damage from the flames, although that is drawing very close. Rowan, how much volume of water does that spell create?
Well, it says you can create up to 10 gallons of water within range in an open container. Alternatively, the water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube within range, extinguishing exposed flames in the area.
Okay.
So basically, if I center it on the center of the roof, it would be a 30-foot, or the center of the room, it'd be a 30-foot cube that would be raining.
Okay. And this cottage is very small. I would say that it probably is at maximum 30 feet square. So you would probably be able to get the entire
Okay.
The entire inside of that, if you want. So,
Nice.
so Adrian, as you appear next to this crib, suddenly it starts raining inside. You actually didn't notice him casting this spell, and he hasn't cast it before. So you're like, "What the fuck is going?" But it does extinguish the flames. Now there's just a shit ton of smoke everywhere.
So I pick up the kid, pick up the daughter, the mom, and I leave.
Okay.
That's all I saw, right?
Yeah, you just saw the two of them. You didn't notice anyone else. And again, it's like the burgomaster's cottage. It's open. It's not like there's multiple rooms or anything. So
yeah, I want to get them out of the smoke.
Okay, so you drag them outside, holding your breath, and once you get outside the cottage, you're finally able to draw a breath of clean air and start coughing. But you managed to pull them from the burning building, and the townspeople, who some of them ran off to like go get buckets and start a bucket brigade, but Rowan, actually, you managed to douse the flames just with your, I was going to say with your cloud kill spell. It's a create water spell. So, yeah, you're standing there coughing and choking, and but the baby is still crying but appears to be alive. The woman is unconscious but also appears to be alive. So you have saved the mother and her baby, and the townspeople see that there's no need for a bucket brigade, so they all kind of clamber around you and ask, "She okay? She okay? What happened? What happened?"
Apparently she passed out. Anybody want to take care of a baby?